Hello, good morning.
Hey, Adwoa don't Nsem Renaso. Make us say why you major. Only you go pass na yentino. Ono de oba. Ozo nebu. Na wa chire nsem nsem. Awa we mo what ya see. Into other form. Besemi yanko. What I mean is beloved. Adwoa Domensa is here. Let us go and listen to her. All you have to do is to give her your listening ears. She's going to bisect, trisect, dissect, and even intersect the words of this life to you. I am going to listen to other message. Media Miko, Miko cry, Miko Tiano, share, when Tina, why yo,
Brother, good
the
morning.
counselor
Welcome.
back up no
Hey, Sister
size,
Florence,
Zuyaki,
Abrabo, Ellie. I forgot to say, good to see you. Mima will be Aquaba. Thank you, Brother Azikamani. Hello to you as well, Sister Florence, Ellie. Good. It's been a while. It's always a pleasure to see familiar friends, and family. Oh, yeah, that Yehovah say, means my feel rough. Sometimes to say, but to say we have so much going on. Yeah, and you might be between a Juma, taking care of yourself, family, I you movie no you get caught up with you might be brain, won't me and come back and not like and check it on friends and families. See, she say, I am not a boy, a walk climb be brave. So, and then topic in I become the unpleasant activities in our churches and homes. New maybe a cocoso, ya sorry fee any abusua fie aware fie ɛwɔ yɛabrabɔ mu ɛsiane sɛ sɛ ba yɛgyidie no mu no a obiara wɔ deɛ wɔgyidie ate sɛ yɛwɔ nnipa binom a wɔwɔ asɔre biara mu wohu saa nkurɔfoɔ no bi wɔ hɔnom nti no ɛno na yɛreba abɛka ho asɛm ɛpɛ sɛ me set it up me draw topic sana mahyɛ aseɛ abobɔbobɔ nneɛma bi so te sɛ sometimes obi wɔ hɔnom a ɔbɛfeel sɛ like yeah, to tell you the truth, I'm totally not against church activities, church programs, but there are some church activities and programs and even though activities in churches can do some good for ourselves, our children. They can also do some bad without us suspecting things, based on how people do things within the church during churches and homes. And like we just going to be talking about a lot of things, bringing some insights Or sometimes, some of us don't think about certain things. Uh, to tell you the truth, in most cases, worst case scenario in churches and homes, most homes, um, there are a lot of things happening that some family members are fully aware of it, but they don't say nothing because they don't want to bring shame to the family names, or they're just trying to protect themselves from embarrassment. And then most children end up, suffering. My glasses, I need to bring it back for them to fix it. It's a bit loose and I don't know why. And homes. Okay. All right. So some of the things that I have observed in on social media, experiences that I have heard through people sharing their experiences, and also you listen to the news and you have neighbors and some people share their experiences. It's a whole lot. It becomes very overwhelming, right? So it's crucial to find out what the activities is or activities are before allowing your child, your children, or our child, people's children, into being part or joining of any church programs. Some people will call it, like it's good to like give anything that is being done within churches good names, because when you give it like youth program, Bible studies, a lot of pedophiles, molesters, rapers, people who does a lot of bad things, who are literally bad within, um, they like camouflage, right? They just put themselves in places that welcome a lot of children, young boys, young girls. They all like, most of them, get molested, sexually assaulted, sexually abused, get raped. And the abuser will threaten them or like blackmail them, say some scary things to that child, whereas they will be afraid to speak about it to their family. And it's never easy for some people to be able to overcome that threat, which is something that enable bad guys, these people to get away with such, abuse for so long. There are some people in the system, they're supposed to register as sex offenders, but some of them, fall through the cracks. And these people, places that they normally work will be in the education system, being in churches, doing volunteer works, and so parents have to shine their eyes. You cannot just have your children, going and joining things, because within an hour to 5 hours, you will not have to deal with your child, running around, being loud and causing commotion in the house and doing some things, not listening to you. So you're just going to let them go to someone who happens to be a church member that you feel comfortable. leaving your children with. You have some molesters, and some pedophiles who are able to abuse multiple children at the same time, and they use the same tactics, whereas those children does not talk about it. It will at some point some children will see that what is being done to them is being done to others, so they think that it's normal. You have some parents who do not educate their children in terms of, like, their being aware of their body, which part of the bodies that they should allow other people to touch. Let me just send this to my baby sister. Which part of the body to touch and which part of the body they cannot touch. Like for me, my 11-year-old now, when she was 5 or less, I quite don't remember. It's been a while. Their father, myself, their grandparents, especially my mom, their grandmother, we taught them areas of their body, the pinpoint that nobody's allowed to touch, their chest, even tickling them in their armpit. That is very personal. Brushing against their backside, or squeezing their butt, putting their hands in their genital area, touching them there, putting their hands on their thighs, rubbing their thighs, touching their legs, like your whole existence. Your body is your personal space, and nobody is allowed to touch it. That's why, like, when we have our children, when they reach certain age, for the girls, a male, their dad, or like a male person is not supposed to, like bathe them or trying to help them clean up, because it's inappropriate. The same thing with young boys. Yeah, mothers and female adults should not be, like, helping them when as they getting older. The same sex needs to, like, start educating them how to bathe themselves, brushing their teeth, cleaning themselves, wiping themselves properly when they use the restroom. Because if you are a parent and you have not taught your children all these things, and that child cannot wipe themselves properly when they go out in a community with another adult working with them, or another adult supervising them, and they use the restroom, they're going to need that adult to help them wipe themselves properly or clean themselves when they use the restroom. And at times it will start out something so innocent, and before you know it, it becomes, a bad experience. That child is going to be traumatized, because you have some adults who do not have control of their excuse me, Nana Kwesi, Nana. That noise is coming from you. I thought it was Nana Kwesi watching TV over there. All right, so it's like, church members is always, church is important. Church members need to find out what may be wrong with any church activities and all programs overload, and ask ourselves if there can be such a thing as too much of a good thing. And last but not least, the need to talk about solutions, in finding better ways to dealing with concerning matters coming up within churches, our communities and homes. There's always, solutions to every problem. Solutions, which means more than one solutions to each problem. But some people, don't pay attention to that. I mean, people use the same method, to deal with multiple problems. You can't do that. Things that may work today may not work tomorrow, or a day before, or a month from now, or like 2 months from now. So it's always important to come up with multiple solutions for one problem. So if one does not work, you have to like have plan A, plan B, and so forth. So like, within, unpleasant activities within our churches is some of the things is that, senior citizens, retirees, you have some grandparents, or older adults, they no longer working, they have retired, they have done their dues and whatsoever. And then once they retire, they normally have a fixed income, right? So they get in a certain amount of money. They cannot do overtime at work, whereas they will get extra money coming somewhere. They cannot work 2 jobs because now they have retired, and they living the life, enjoying whatever hard work that they put in. But then you have, instead of them enjoying it, you have, within church community, they have, they embezzling money from the elderlies. They have programs, and they have groups. It's like, if you're not part of women fellowship or men fellowship, or the youth groups, and so many other things, then when, as a church member, you have an event going on, you won't have a lot of people attending. So you have to be part of an association, right? Before you be able to get the love. So it's like give and take. I remember like my parents, I was talking with my parents, and my mom, one time they were going to an Adore. So I asked my mother, why do you feel the need to go to an Adore? Because you're done having children. So it's not like you're going to be having children and somebody from your church is going to come by the house and, give you a gift, or like, so it's like, that's money wasting. You can use that money to invest into something else, because, you older, your children, we getting older, we're not having children, so it's like you're not gonna have anything to hold. And also you have a fixed income, so for having a fixed income, why must you need to like spend unnecessary money that you don't have to spend? And if I am your daughter, I'm doing something, nobody from your church is gonna come because they don't know me. It's not you doing it, your child is doing it. So it's like, there are certain things I know, like some churches in here, Abrabo in sorry, to say be a senior citizen, even to say public transportation for senior citizens, they pay, some of them, depending your age, some of them pay 1/4 of what the normal fare is. Some pay half, some pay 3/4. They never pay full price for that, which is fair enough, because they're not making as much money as our age group. So like, I just don't know. But when you go to the Ghanaian community, hi, money day. Money is something, when some people see it, the greediness, the hunger, they always have to come up with something. Kofi Niama, you do tithe, you do offering, and then special days, we do Kofi Niama, Monday. Sister Aisha says, Obapa. So when you take out, Mema Wakwaba, Papa, Apomu Etis, Sen, it's good to see you. Hey, my name, dear, when you say it now. Oh, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. So you have people, when it comes to money, there is so much confusion, division, chaos. Like, people create certain condition problems when it comes to money, fighting over it. Who is going to get which share? How many percentage goes here? Like, and then you have some leaders who wants to open. Like, there is so much happening, and it shouldn't have to be. So it's a whole lot. Senior citizens, I think in terms of public transportation in US, they pay less amount of money than what I will pay. I will have to pay full amount because I'm working 40 hours a week. I can work more than that if I choose to get another job, but I don't need to get another job because the job that I'm doing, I'm making enough, to maintain me and for me to also invest into something else. So if I'm spending extra dollars on the side, I know where I can get that extra dollars from. But you have senior citizens, them having fixed income, they don't have those choices. But then you have some churches, unpleasant activities that is like kind of like asking for more and more money from senior citizens. I mean, why? Why would you do that? Because it's not fair for them. They also have responsibilities, and they need to be able. Buzz over the marvelous, knowledgeable, strong-willed, Dada hashtag Dada Barasta one. Boss, Memawa Aquava, Apomo Etison, is good to see you. When I see the love now, and the boss, you put the Dr. Love. We have to come and have love conversation, Kakru, because I have moved away from it, but I need to start bringing those back because I enjoy talking about love things, So, our retirees, they need to be able to enjoy their retirement and not be embezzled of their hardcore income money, money earned when they are being financially exploited, right? Exploitation, financial exploitation, lies, manipulation, whereas, money are being stolen from them. Hi, honey. Hey, you bring the Adwoa baby here, eh? Before say I know it's a one time would ba ayi and a bimute, sister ama disre me for some time. Say saying ka umu refika kone sister wo. That's how they are better. Yemo akaba. All right. So, like, and then overall in general, you have the lies, molestation, you have some church members, children, youth, wives, being young boys, young girls being molested, being sexually assaulted, because you have some church leaders or people in position, because of power, they touching you when they shouldn't be touching you, right? Sometimes you talking to someone. I really like when I talk to people, interact with people, I stand more than arm's length, where if you extend your hands, you're not touching me, because I don't want people to put their hands over my shoulders, my arm, my back, like I don't like people touching me. If you don't have permission to touch me, I do not want you touching me. If I need to sit with you, I either have something between us. If I'm holding my Bible, books, or my pocketbook, my handbag, I'm going to put it between you and I, because I don't want any type of interaction which is inappropriate for you, or give anyone the opportunity, to get any currents from me, or to step out of boundaries, because I'm very particular with boundaries. There's a thin line between love and hate. And, when people lack of boundaries, people sit next to you, and, even though there's space around you, and you find people like brushing themselves against you. I remember, like, when I was in school, uh, I will normally take rush hour trains, right? Which means it's packed, because a lot of people work 9 to 5 schedule, Monday through Fridays. So those days, rush hour, you have a lot of people rushing to make it to their buses, and um, trains, connect from here to there. Some people drive halfway and park their car in the parking lot, or in an area that they feel comfortable their car will be safe, and then take public transportation to get to where they going. So for me, my school, it was in Manhattan. So, like, to get there, I couldn't, I wasn't driving at a time. And, driving, parking is going to be a problem for me. So I would take public transportation rush hour. And there was one time I noticed that, like, you have a lot of the guys, a lot of men, they will stand too close to the women, and they will normally stand in the back of the woman, rubbing their genital area on the buttocks. So it's like, when you among so many people, and you kind of like pack on top of each other. If the train, if it breaks, right, you have people move up, and you move back and forth. So you have someone doing that. Sometimes even with some people, there is no commotion going on, and you feel the person going back and forth, which means they getting their stuff on, because some people get aroused. So it's like, I started putting my backpack. Like, I remember I would push my backpack, the handle, to cover my butt. So my backpack was not always in my back. It will fall over my butt. So if you're going to be rubbing your genital area behind me, you're going to be feeling my book bag, right? And normally, sometimes I'll put my hands on my book bag at the side to make sure nobody's like opening the zipper and stuff. So, like, and then I had an experience one time. I was done with school, coming home, and as I was sitting at the side of the train, I heard someone saying, making noise. I turned around, and then there was this dude who has his penis out, and he was jerking off right at my ear side. I got off the train, went to the other side, and went to the middle of where the conductor is, because that's when I started sitting in the car, that the conductor is there, because I just did not want any trouble at all. Brother Ohineba Nyameche, Mimawo Akwaba Apomu saying, and good evening to you as well, Brother Ohineba Nyameche Echia Adofo no mu nyinaa. Welcome, Obapa. Beautiful. You look beautiful. Very true. People are irresponsible. Thank you. And I appreciate that. A lot of humanity, parents, needs to be very, they need to be acquire knowledge, get resources, making sure, like, group leaders, like their backgrounds, do your own investigation. You can't just trust people because they go to church, they proclaim to be Christians. Pedophiles, molesters, rapers, like people who like take advantage of the innocent. They go to places that we normally bring our innocent children. So we have to be able to educate our children in making sure. And then some of the unpleasant activities. Duck, oh, duck, ni obafa awofedua osanwe die ka ho. Efie nyansa any book mu die nyina wo be. It's the comfort miracle and him duck. Say hello, says, how are you doing? And family, by the grace of God, we are all doing well. Thank you so very much. It's good to see you, says. Yeah, so it's like you do have a lot of like financial exploitation, as I said before, a lot of like molesters within certain areas, right? And trust me, you may go to a church that the pastor is like is working with the Holy Spirit, but you're going to have some of the people in position, some of the church members who have some of these things, like every church, every place, because like Jesus, God himself says, when the world comes to an end, he's going to start where? The church. Because there's a lot of people who use that as a means to do their bad deeds. So for me, I am very particular because my parents did not exploit, us, myself and my siblings into something like that, because like they always with us. When we went to live with some of our uncles, in Oda, like I would dress to go to church, but I wouldn't go to church. I just want to go see my grandfather from my father's side, to get myself a little something, something. He sees me, he gives me money. I can use that money to buy me some peanut and bread, or bread and egg, just to get rice and beans, gari and beans, wachi, jollof, So Sundays I dress up just to go see my grandfather. But people will think I'm going to church. Holy shit. Confession time. I don't hit it, but I'm fine. Thank you, my dear sister. Hopefully you and the family doing great. By the grace, we are blessed and grateful. Thank you for asking. So, you have people who goes to church to steal. You have armed robbers within church. They steal from their members. They take money, they exploit people, they use people's fear. There's a lot of like 419 in there, verbal and emotional abuse, mental and psychological abuse, because you have some church leaders or some soul men of God, they would tell their church members that they're going to curse them. I mean, seriously, there's no other than the Creator himself. No human being, it don't matter the level of your spiritual whatsoever, can curse or because in our native language, nomen men nomemo you decree oben nomeme said to me ben I want so some church members, give their power away because they don't learn, they don't acquire knowledge. So everything lies whatsoever coming from the charlatans, fake prophecy, fake miracles whatsoever. I mean, what you allow into your life is what you become, right? So a lot of people, you have some church leaders, they abuse it, the abuse of power. Those using just greed, being jealous, fighting over other people's property, all that sometimes, like within church, you have leaders fighting over who should be in charge of this, who should be in charge of that. And then when you go to the homes, you have family members who are greedy. Some of them, they have not been able to accomplish anything for themselves. Oma amobra. Inti bra a amo no, nani bra obi ade obi nso wo ho no mo bra, but it said they nani bra de keke or per more easy, easy earn. And most people who acquire other people's hardcore properties and money earn, if they are able to even take care of it, then you won't have to worry. They will misuse it, right? And it is just sad. It is really bad. You have some family members, when it comes to family properties and stuff, you have some of them who will go and steal the will and change the name to their own name, even though it's not theirs. They have not accomplished anything, but they're going to change a family property, into their own name. So it becomes theirs. I mean, how do you justify giving something that belongs to a family to yourself, and in hope of when you pass on, your children will have it, even though it does not belong to you? And then you do have people in the system, the court system, and some corner, who will take bribe, who are corrupt. So they will take a little chop change because of greed, selfish interest, self-centered characteristic. They're going to take that money and just do their little wahala. And we have people within our society community who enable this kind of things. I mean, you have people within family. Thank you, Doc. You have people within families who will go to the extreme. They will use juju, voodoo, poison, and so many other things just to acquire somebody else's property. You have people who have traveled abroad, right? They have worked so hard. I mean, like, you have people who work like a horse. They don't take care of themselves. Their personal, their self-care, they work multiple jobs. They don't rest. So by the time to finish a project, and then some of them, you have them travel home, they reach airport and they die at the airport. Being that our society, there are so many wickedness and evil mindset people, inhumanity, behavior. Most times we will put it on like curses and generational curses and other stuff, or maybe juju and this, but sometimes the person is their time to go because they did not take care of their personal needs. They focus on making money, and when you focus on just making money, because money does not bring happiness. Having money is good. I'm not saying it's not good. You'll be able to get things for yourself, but we do have people who work so hard. They work a lot, and then when they're supposed to retire and enjoy their money, they become sick, and they're using the money that they have worked so hard and earned to pay hospital bills. So it's like, how do you justify that? I mean, I'm going to work, but I need to work smart. What are some of the ways that I can go about doing smart investment for me to retire earlier, right? And then enjoy my life, and not be in need of someone taking care of me. So balancing my diet, because I remember 2001, I went to celebrate my graduation. When I finished my bachelor in psychology. And when I went to Ghana, there were like family, friends, families, and there were strangers. I remember like I invited people by invitation, but you doing this in Akim, or that, like you have people who were not invited. They just heard there was a party going on in Nana Ofori's home, family home. So you have people who came through whom I don't know. I don't know why they feel the need to come, but most of them got food, drinks, free drinks, whatever. I didn't come to do the party to charge people. I just bought drinks and everything. So in between time, there was this dude who is not a family friend, who does not know me, is just someone who lives in my hometown, came, and he couldn't come to any other person than me. He walked, he got balls, and the balls. No, hon. Hey, you hearing things? He has the balls and the goals to come walk straight to me. And he tells me, well, I went to an event and I just got here. Can you serve me? I look at him and I was like, excuse you? Who served you? Did I invite you? No, I did not. But they passing on food, so you can go find yourself a seat, and if and when the food reach you, you get your own. But you cannot come to me expecting me to serve you for what? Are you my guest? No, you're not. And then like he's looking at me and I was like, oh my gosh, people do not have self-respect. You come to my party, which I did not invite you to it, and you coming to me for me to serve you. Sometimes a party, nipa bi wo ho no ma wodi omachi a like wobɛka asamfo akyerɛ no woni me baabi a wo aba me party meyɛ for me ho I enjoy. Woba ya wa enyo bi amusane say oma waduane ne drink seminar woba me ho say me awrade nyankopon. Some people party, but like he ended up getting food and stuff, and I saw him, he drank so much he passed out. And I was like, hey, some people enjoy free stuff, or when people hear freebies. Oh, Ghana for they brave. Omo pese omo bedi. No be wo no more ba or kwa or pe take away. The ono ne the ni kwenti mi ama, and I made sure like party in fitiasi, we just announce it. Nobody's paying money. If anybody's charging you, you let the hostess know. My baby sister was, part of that. A couple of the friends living in the family house was part of that. So we make sure that nobody is gypping nobody. You're not going to use my party, my enjoyment to like kind of take advantage of people. And, we let people know whatever you get when you serve and stuff, we're not giving no takeaway for nobody, because the people who got invitation for the party, we did put takeaway on the side, because I invited them to come. If you just came and walking to come, like you can come and eat and drink, but you were not going to be treated special, being giving you food to live and stuff like that. I didn't come to serve like the world. I came to just enjoy and chill us. But it was like the best party that I have ever had, because every time I go to Ghana, like from 98 to 2002, I went to Ghana back to back to back to back, and then I closed it up a little bit, and then 2005 I went, and that was the end of it. And so I haven't been back in a long while. And with COVID, I don't think I'm going to go back anytime soon. So it's like, sometimes you have people, that will insert themselves in places that they don't even belong. I mean, this guy, I'm sure like he's a party goer, so he hear things happening, and it was going around the Christmas holiday, because so it was pretty nice, because 2001 I went later on. So I Christmas and New Year I spent in Ghana, and that was the most expensive trip, because you see people and everybody like, oh, you didn't give me Christmas present. I'm like, listen, I didn't come here to celebrate you. I came to celebrate me and my accomplishments. So I have my budget, how much money I was going to spend for the party, paying for the food, the people cooking, the band that we hired them. And it was pretty good. I really, truly enjoy myself. Oh, welcome, my knowledgeable sister, Sage Williams. Greetings, Sister Adwoa, and the beautiful people aboard. Today I came a bit early, so you guys are used to seeing me at 6:30, right? Today I was like, okay, let me come early and just pour some stuff in here. So you have people like who always like take advantage of other people. And I think some people, and there was like, oh my gosh, I had a friend from middle school. She came, I invited her, and she invited a friend with her. She came with a friend. I didn't know her friend, but like when I invited her to my room, she came in with her friend. I didn't invite her friend because I don't know her friend, but because her friend was with her, I allowed them to come into my space, and then as we going out to start a party, because the host, you have to be there, to present. And boy, did I show off. Hey boy, the clothing that like for me before, all my clothes were like body fit, because I was working out, I was toned up and everything. So like when I presented myself, I have a lot of my cousins. That was the best thing. My baby sister, and it was like that. It was awesome. And I went for a reason, because when I went 2000, you have some village people, calling me names, because at the time I was studying. Those who have, gone to college, universities, studying, it's hard. So sometimes you tend to lose weight. And I wasn't a big person. I was very lean, toned person. And for some ɔdanfoɔ mmabaawafoɔ no bi no, wɔn hu me sɛ kyerɛ sɛ meyɛ too slim, menyɛ kɛseɛ te sɛ like matu abɔ mu nti no, kyerɛ sɛ meyi da low ma ɔmo. Ɔno ɔtu abɔ mu no, ɔno no ɔda high. Nti no, I went back to 2001 into 2002 for a reason, just to go show off. And it was like the best revenge, like people sees you and you looking almighty fine, with your show off outfits. Hey, Charlie, it's my brother Emmanuel. Gee, welcome, looking meticulously, and so many naturally splendid. Good evening. Good evening to you as well. I just said, oh, bye. So, but mama can brofwa, meka me tekreba. So many. Ebi mu no no na abe hu omo to say omukita master degrees in thank you so much, Brother G. One love to you always. Thanks. So like, you have people who have a tendency, to break other people, and free BCD. When it comes to free BCD, people will come to you. And then, so my friend, going back to, she brought a friend, and before we went out, she's asking for my bedroom and living room keys because she wants to leave her handbag, pocketbook, which is what most people say here in US, in my room. So I said, fine, if you want to leave it in here, that's fine. Myself or Crisscross is going to have the key when you guys ready to leave or to fetch your handbag. Then one of us will let you in to get it. My friend got upset because she was expecting moi to give her my room keys. And I'm like, is she crazy? Like, what makes her think that I will trust her with somebody that I don't know? For them, when we are partying, everybody is not aware for them to go in my room, whereas I have my luggages, money that I brought, unsupervised. Hi. This girl thinks, hey, Charlie, obi mu wo hon mo hu osiro. Memfa me dan safo ama. Na woni wadanfo se wo free here, like woni no e de mo bag e to me dem. Na memfa me safo ama mreko a meji mani a me bu me pato pambushos mesa ekoto sore nom ne ade ne mani na me ho no. Meye party baby ne ya rob me. Ma so sa me maame ne me papa o ma antete me na chese me nji mi sa o. Metu kwa ya cha na nche se ma adwen nya adwuma. Nti me ka chen se da bi no o ka chen me se okay fane e bag no ensi ho bi na me say, oh well, that's okay, because the bag no kra kitikiti enya de be we. Nti the fact is say no person or the to ho no me kra no me ye kruku kra sen no chese be bia ma adwen ekotoye no ono kra na ma suspect one na damfo na wie, because omo ba ye bi ho no ma ye kasa na me yi mani a mani beba omo ho so ba bia me luggages ni si no any ade ho no na omo hwe no ni ade. Some of us are not born stupid. We are trained well. Fake ones, people who pretends to be, your friend, but then they want to like come and me free approach them, na me ma will be or no me hard work, o me me and funny who need to spend it. And or gin a ni drink it a hanging around down on in a down for I guess their plan did not work as they were hoping, because no for say, oh yeah, my best friend Tamana me want me do school, me work on and me too crying for some time. Over 10 years now, my bar. Like, you can't tell me say our friendship is not going to be on the same level. Yes, I mean, we can talk and laugh and stuff like that, but the trust level is different because we grew apart, right? And some people, they just don't get it. Okay. So, and then, you have like, some family members, when we come to family, fighting over properties. Some of them will push you, juju die bebre ebusiafo bebre omo mani brade no omo brani obi oho a abo braba na ni brade no otimi kokun ono ani nua ne papa ba ne maami nua ba chese eye too much, right? Na wafa ne ho adi esan se wono feel say onu deserve wosen my share stories of me nana ba me maame onu ani nia bema ene kun no one ne yire ene decide ye ni ma no be ma bia be ware we say we tie we yira asamba say we yire aba abusua mu na oma wade say we kum wunua because wunua emma wanu nyam sen wa say we are very careful because wo kan abusua ne ho nti say we say wo kum abusua na abusua ni nya ase ahia na che say wunyansa eda wo na ase because at the end no wonso no wo kan abusua ne ho bi no wonso wase be hye. I mean, to say, I don't know. If some people think with their mind or to say, say, genital area, I think some people know that's what they do best. Into on any year, de aduane, me na naba or no, or wakuma pa, or Jimmy Peddy, and no one suspect. So no one can near. Ebe kuna free we ase but at the end no time me ma me any ni nuanom any abusuafo ekire no na me nana de chese aduane a omo ye ma na odiye enti me abenkwan ni kontomre nkwan enuoma a eye dark no enu na ebi mu ede ye aduane di nnurogum na omo di kum omo enipa omufie nipa abusuafo nipa omani bre no obi wo hono ma nadamfo keke nadamfo na ware anase nadamfo ni wo empena bi empena no utimi uso ugina ne na so na nani bre no no waye nadamfo ne bone anaso o ne nadamfo ne nkomo omudi no omudi anu akoka akire be ma no one ne wo hono ebi mu ye da ewo ya Abrabo mu nti no sa enkrofo no obi wo hɔ no mo be ye adwuma pa na wo kofie wo koye na yi ebi mo wo hɔ no ma aso omo mre so mbegu because omo ahwe omo ho so ye omo di sika echi omo di sika edi wo manim nibre eni ayi nti no show off opese amansan nyina hu se ma besi abronsan kese me kwa abrochire ma yesei ebi mo nso copy ni follow nti no na wawu nkwase ewu foolish death. You die foolish death when you don't take care of yourself. Obi nso wo ho na busuani na ate na akone wakuno because of penejapade and I think those who intentionally humiliate and set themselves in other people's marriages, relationships and life in churches because you were mommy phobi and I say maybe normally just a man bebre was and sorry no omo ehye trouble ase no emani bebre emani bi nso kọ nkrofo yerenom na omo di nkrofo yerenom omo dada nkrofo yerenom enkwala ewo asori honom no so ya awofo wani nkọ ho abehu na we anyway twempena chese ensem wahalas bebre maami bi ehu se ne ba any sa akola we say eda akola na enru age yeso ne ne da no aka na no abezo onka sa say wonim so okoka bia ebeye rape and say molestation sa say nipa no age difference enkoye enso no wonka no aka na waka na no atom so ho ye wo emma bi omo kwa asori a enye se omo kọ asori akotie nyame asem de omo kwa asori se omo kohwe ne we hyeba asori na obi wo honom a se bia because ye nyina wo ye mu bi wo ye favorite enti obi wo honom atade bi wo ho a wo hya se ne fata no nti na niji ho nti bia every 2 weeks or a month bia no wa hye say ebi mu consenti ene ntro nti no obi wo honom a okọ asori a otimi hwe nipa aso masi ene ni kun nipa aso masi ni Nigeria na wo honom a ono ni natade a wahye a wo si wo ye high ne panka da high enti wo mpebie mu no oba asori a na ode ahye rubber bag mu di aba e di abre wo yire ana say sister bi a omo feel say ono de wata repeat ne ntade hyemu nti no me asori na nipa ne kọ no enye fashion ti na nipa ne kọ ye wa nkosom ntade ni nyame no okosom no Enti die wo eno wo hye, but ebi mu timi bo senkuo, especially omo wo associations no ne ade no. Na waba wose nyame e de atoma koma so say se me di we atade yi bro ana se ntuma e bro na just oba che se wo no che se wini bi nti de wo hye no enye to their satisfaction ana se wo kun enhwe wo yie ana se wini bi a wo de emom oh ebrade e ba sorry pa mu a ensem hu ni ensem fon sa unpleasantness na ebi mu create wo sa asori no aya na ahunti obi nso wo ho no ma obi ni ne ho kafo aware no mu nye o ma dwen so o mu be wu sese na okwabrane akoto enkwala ntade e de abre couples ne say nyame de atoma koma so say me fa bibi na enti wa dwen ye adwuma. Is your mind working? Is it active enough? Why would you humiliate someone like that? Because if you have couples that are married and they've been married for 5, 6, 7, 10 years near, they haven't had children. How is it your business as a church member for you to insert yourself in their lives, to humiliate them or target them emotionally, psychologically abuse them and assume or judge that person? Did the couples came to you to get counseling? Did the couples came to you to tell you, they said they having problems having children? How is it your business? Did you came to church for gossiping, for or to worship God? I don't understand it. You have some people within our society, instead of going to church to do what needs to be done, to learn and also learn to love others as they are, except people don't trying to change someone. I remember when I first started doing like live video, I have a friend who said, oh, in a year time, I'm going to get you to put on makeups and lipstick. And I'm saying to myself, okay, lipstick, I chose not to put on lipstick no more. In my high school years, in my college years, and when I met Kay, I was putting on lipstick. Makeups, I chose to not use makeups in high school because it messed up one of my favorite outfit, white outfit, Reebok outfit. In the early 90s, Reebok was the it. Now Nike and Puma and other stuff. So it messed it up because my school gave me gym first period. So when I was taking it off, and my mom, when I went home, I chunked the whole thing in the garbage. And my mom was like, if you didn't want it, why didn't you give it back to me? And I didn't think of it. I was just pissed off because when I came home, I made a mistake and put too much chlorine on, bleach on it. So it messed up the whole thing altogether. So with my anger management, I just threw it, and it was expensive. My mom spent a lot of money on that, and but she wasn't mad at me. She knew that she bought it for me, but it would have been great for me to give it back to her instead of throwing them away. So when the person said that, I was like, okay, think whatever you want to think, but some of the things that you saying, I have done it, and I'm choosing to be natural. I'm choosing to be myself. And my husband had accepted me as I am. My family, they know the person that I am. And they know if something needs to be said, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to go straight in and speak as it is, all the way without, putting a break on, but I speak constructively. So I was like, I'm not sure how you telling me this, because first of all, I'm not asking you to give me a makeup. I don't need nobody to give me makeup. I love myself. I do self-care. I have self-confidence. So what people see, if they don't like it, they can choose to walk away. Bye. So don't tell me that, because that's insulting and that's disrespectful. I don't, please don't, because you don't want to hear what's going to come from my end. So just not to go further than that, for us to have respect and boundaries. If I need something, I have family friends, who uses makeup. I can have them support me with that if I can put on my makeups right. But I don't want it. I don't have any acne. I'm 48 and I don't have acne. I don't have holes in my faces. I haven't damaged my skin because I just like me. So the person was able to get it and, just drop it, because, like I was like, what the hell do you mean by that? That you're going to, change me? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with my existence? You don't tell me what I can do or cannot do. I'm an adult. I make my decision. What I see staring back at me from the mirror, I love. I love. I care for. So why would you want to change me? But I was like, if you feel certain way and you are insecure about your look, you do what you must do with your body, with your face. That's your decision. And it's my decision not to put any type of chemicals in my face. Makeups, they have the expensive one, they have the cheap ones, they have, whichsoever. So what you can afford is what you buy. But sometimes you see people put makeups in their face like they bath with it. That's them. They want to hide. Some of them may be insecure, some of them may not have experience as to how to put makeup properly. But if that's what makes them happy, that's them. So don't come and tell me what I should look like and or what I should not look like. So hey, my beautiful knowledgeable sister, yeah, Boatima Boatim Russell, Apomo at the same, we are just not empathetic at all, sis. I'm telling you, like, you have people. Sometimes I wonder why. A lot of people are so selfish. I mean, of lately, I talk about when it comes to everything, self-care, self-love, self-assurance, self-value, self-discipline, everything. I am very selfish with that, because I'm not hurting anybody taking care of myself. I'm not hurting nobody. And if I'm able to know what love is, if I accept who I am, what I am, how I look like, and everything about me, what I have accomplished, what I'm working on to succeed, plans I have in place, investment, people I allow close to me in my circle of friends, and things that I need in my life to make me happy and have peace of mind. Why would I? Like, it's good to be selfish when it comes to spoiling yourself, because nobody knows better for you than yourself. I can be my own miracles. Whatever I believe in, my faith and my hard work, everything that I do, there isn't anything that I cannot do if I put my mind into it, if I'm motivated. The only limitation in my life, my children's life, my husband's life, my family members and friends who are determined, who are inspired, who are motivated, who have knowledge, resources and stuff, is the sky. I mean, God has accepted me. So why must I, you know, do things to certify humanity, human beings, the people, society, for them to accept me. If they don't accept me, I mean, they don't buy me food, they don't buy me clothes. I do things for myself. I don't come and beg nobody. So it's like, why? Like, I just don't know. I'm like, a lot of people, like, one thing my parents, when we travel abroad to rejoin our parents, one thing my parents, embedded in myself and my siblings is, having self-confidence, having self-love. I was insecure for a long period of time. Like when I met Kay and when we first got married, some of our arguments, disagreement, the back and forth, focusing on petty stuff, that would have like destroyed our friendship, our relationship and marriage, because we were focusing on all the negatives. We were not focusing on the positive, areas that we have grown, areas that we have accomplished, we have improved, things that we have been able to identify that is our weakness and strength. Me, I talk a lot, but that's my strength. But at the same time, it could be my weakness, because sometimes when you talk too much, you might lose focus of what needs to be said and stuff like that. So I had to like work on myself to make sure, like, I'm able to work on things that I'm not good at. That if K is good in certain areas, I took time to learn certain things from him and vice versa. So it's like whatever is beneficial, that's going to add on. We started welcoming it once we were able to have better understanding, to not pressure one another, giving each other space, because some of the things that I may be able to work through something less than a year, Kay might be able to work through that, less than 6 months or more than a year, vice versa. So he had to give me the space for me to work on it, taking one day at a time. When you have multiple issues and struggles and challenges, you cannot tackle all of them at the same time. You have to pick one or two, you have to pick one, the most like difficult one. Don't start with the least, start with the hardest, and you work on that. Once you work on the with the hardest, it's going to be easy for you to trigger down to the least problems that you have, because you have been able to overcome your greatest weakness. You work on that and you fixing things, right? You're not going to be perfect, but you're going to do better. And most of the time, our imperfection should give us room to improve. So when people work so hard to be perfect, they hit a brick wall, because they have set up their minds. So, okay, I have to do this. I can't do nothing else, and they don't look around them. I always say, and since I had to, Brad normally will laugh. Welcome, our uh author back of it. For the Atobra. Hello to you, sis, and welcome, Mr. G Deo. Profubi obetu chato ha say no make a crown punta me ya kame tekrema. Mr. G Mati bro full wife. Hey. And then our beautiful, knowledgeable sister Ya Boatin Russell says, we can only come to this self-realization only when we are truthful to ourselves in this assessment of ourselves. Aye, sister, I salute. Bum, 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 bum. You see, a lot of us don't focus on ourselves because we reflect our problems on our partners, other people, right? Like most times we pointing fingers at other people, but we fail to recognize that when you point one finger at other people, you have more fingers pointing at you. Some of us, we see certain things as inappropriate, abnormal, bad or good. It depends on, it stems on our understanding, emotional intelligence, what we have acquired, the knowledge that we have, and so many things. Our, security, our confidence, because you may have somebody who is like at the lowest in the bottom, but because of their confidence, they don't allow other people to control them. There are some people who naturally cannot function without someone giving them directive. When it comes to our unpleasant activities in our churches and home, there are a lot of females who allow, because of dependency, allows a lot of male alphas to control their every being, because you depending on them. Being independent doesn't mean that you have to like rise up and stand on somebody's shoulder, whereas your ego and your pridefulness is like bigger than you. No, you have to learn, principles, morals, integrity, and so forth. Respect other people's personal space. You have these people go to church and they telling people, nobody should be telling me what I should wear to church or not, as long as I look presentable and look good. That's me. If I want to wear pants and a nice long top, I will wear that. I love, like pantsuit, but like the suit is always longer. I love them. And I have, the short blazer suit, because it depends on where I'm going with that. But I don't have a lot of the traditional clothing, because seamstress who so here is expensive. I mean, you can bring a luggage full of new cloth, and you can get them. So for you back home, you will pay less amount of money compared to getting them. So here, like they're going to clear your account, right? So you have to think smart. This I had to say keyword truthful. Sis, that's it. I mean, I love it for sure. So it's like, you do have people who invade your personal space, and a lot of our people don't have boundaries. Your chromophobic, they don't have boundaries. To say minimi kwa sorry. Na se minimi kwa ware. Near Tessa kuma crampo and say ware 1 year, 2 years abana will be a bejina when him na da ben na mobile. Aden da ben me wo no me one ma ware. Se me wo se me wo eye wasam konkonsa entro ene to say and just nsem a ehia ene ye mu binom eye asori our nameni madam fubi kasene me we are mechanical for asam o kan and say asori I say we yare na me say hey baby I didn't no wasi asori I say we yare, because nipa bebre o hono ma omo kwa asori a omo kwa asori for bibi nti ohia bibi yan kase yebetimi abompa ya ama ye ho se wo gidi ewo mu na wo believe no, you have unbreakable one, and you don't doubt yourself, your prayers now. You can heal yourself. I don't allow anybody to put their hands in my head, in my shoulder, grab my hands. Hey, because obi wo no ma wonim wanu nyam. Enti so wo so Nsem wode ne nsa to uti so, because enye omo wa asori dem oye Christopher nyina e na omo de omo ani gani ene omo Christo som ne omo tirimu adwempa ensum nyame, ebi mu e de aduro, ebi mu eye wo cult mu, ebi mu wono no de obeye ne se nipa ni wura ma sorry dem mu a mane mfa ne bibia obi wo ho ote abrocho ye adwuma a woje ne check a wode ne sika koma sofu bi ansakra na ne bills kura wode ka wo amananim wakwaji bank loan eye bradi nyankopon Yehowa Christosum just say sometimes now I don't even get it. My beautiful, knowledgeable sister Shaila Amajo Adamson says, greetings to you as well. Brother Emmanuel Joe, G, the Abetu Ho Bam, Mr. G, send our author, sister, yeah, at Rakano. Some people force themselves too much. Hey, Mini Abema, you shaking trees again. And want to be perfect in imperfect world. But human beings are fallible and fragile, not Superman. Thank you. Hey, I love people with knowledge and wisdom. Nobody in this world is perfect. Oh, bien we are see any asem one year fault or make some mistakes somewhere or make it right decision on just say hey obi obeka so you perfect no that person na lie we can't draw. No one is perfect. As time goes, some people when they grow older now they grow to be more wiser because they acquire knowledge. They won't know. But ye will be no swa, ye won't penny phobia. Wakasa, utimu say, Nsem in trim. They don't have any intelligence. Everything that comes out of their mouth is like they have diarrhea. And when they open their mouth, it just comes and messed up the whole place. Why is that? Because it said we have some people now. They lack of self-resilience, emotional resilience. They lack of self-discipline. They lack of self-control. They just do things. Hey, this is Asha. My I'm Paul. Some people when they talk, diarrhea mouth for crampo. I mean, some of us know when we have diarrhea, you don't have control of whatever is coming down. It just comes. I will cry. You go to public and you mess up yourself, your attire and everything, because there's no control of it. It's loose. It just comes. That's what it is. So, like, you do have some family members, some friends, people that we sometimes allow in our circle of friends who does not want the best for us. They really envious, jealous, of us. They are selfish in so many ways. When we are selfish with our well-being, it's okay because you're not hurting anybody. People who love themselves, they know how to kind of like produce that, transfer that onto others, right? Their love is very genuine and it manifests with time. People who are chasing love and running foolish race. We have so many people, they look for love elsewhere. Some women become otolege, some men become otolege because they're looking for love from their partner or somebody else, whereas the person don't have any love for them. Why are you chasing love? You need to love yourself. You come first. You should be first priority. K will not be able to get me all my needs because he's not in my head. He don't know what I need, but I know what I need. I know what will make me happy. K will know until I speak it out. I spell it out for him. Honey, I need this. Although this is where this is what I'm thinking about. And he also have to express his needs to me. Some of them, as you live with someone, you get to like pick a little clues and stuff. But there are some deep thinking things. Unless your partner opens up to you with effective communication, right? Trusting you, Respecting your boundaries with no pressure. Some people, they pressure their partner so much they're ready to take off their shoes and take off and not never look back. Brother Emmanuel, Jesus, some pastors spat on people saying they are healing with COVID around. Sometimes they push you to the floor even if you don't want to fall. Hey, Brother Emmanuel, just say, hey, if I come to your church and you healing me and you spat in your hands, I'm not a violent person, but I go slap you. What? You going to put your stinky spit on my body, in my hands, in my clothes? How dare you? That is a form of disrespect and limiting someone to the lowest level. Why would I want your saliva in me for you to heal me? There are some sickness that you have some gullible, vulnerable, on like people with no knowledge, limited mindset in church seeking for healing. Instead, when they're supposed to be going to the hospital to get the appropriate treatment and care, and they in church, some people being chained to a pole, some people being locked inside the church because they want to remove the demons. Charlie, already with COVID. So when you're COVID now, what into go be. And I said, you have nipa bi almost almost ya asofo edware na so erade emompa de Jimmy yemfa nwo Jimmy stupidity. People are not born with stupidity. People learn to be stupid because they cannot function. Their brains are inactive. We have to make sure, like, open our eyes. So, like, it just baffles me, right? You have to be selfish for yourself, your needs. I'm selfish when it comes to my needs. I gotta spoil myself, love myself, and enjoy myself. Have my personal time. Giving K his personal time, the kids, my family members and stuff. When I'm going to my parents, I call them to let them know I'm going to pop up. I just don't up and go, because you can't just go to people's place because you feel like you belong. No, you have to be respectful. You have to have morals. Like, maybe your family have plans. You can't just pop up like, hello, what's up? I'm here. Like, no. Yes. So it's like, if someone comes to my house, it don't matter who you are, and you don't call me ahead of time, you just show up in my house and ring the doorbell. You're going to ring the doorbell until thy kingdom come. You have to call me to let me know you stopping by. I'm not letting you in because I wasn't expecting you. My home is my personal space, and you're not allowed to just pop up, because you feel like it. You need to set boundaries, rules and regulation. You follow that. Accountability, responsibility. No, you're not just going to, like, maybe my husband and I, having a romantic evening, some type of intimacy and stuff, and you come in to disrupt it. No, man, don't do that. The Jesus, sometimes they hug the beautiful ladies with nice breasts for too long, feeling. I mean, like, when you think about certain things, you have people who are insecure, who are not confident of themselves, right? They lack of so many things, self-motivation, self-inspirational, like, they limited to certain things. They don't have a lot of resources. They do not have knowledge of certain things because you need to represent yourself in certain places. You just can't go and hug somebody's wife or like feelings, but you have some people, especially some females who are desperate. They need to be somewhere. Some females dress certain way, popping their breasts up, with push-up bras, showing the top of their breasts, like just to attract. They seeking attention. We have positive attention and negative attention. If that's what makes them feel secure, that's fine. But like, um, marriage, when you are married, or like you in a relationship, there are ways and means to carry yourself, but everybody have their standards, and it's not my place to tell somebody how to dress. I dress the way that I feel comfortable and confidence with, and presentable. That's me. And so is other people. I tend to put on scarf a lot, because like when I go to sleep, I wrap my hair. So it's like once I put a scarf on, if I'm not doing something, to the extreme, I just keep the scarf on because it keeps everything together. I don't have to worry about my hair, some sticking north, south, and stuff like that. So, I do that, just to keep my hair in a certain way. Dr. Joe Kinsley, Mimwaka will say, absolutely. Whatever I was saying, thank you. So let's go back to the church. What are some of the challenges, that churches face? It's like, it's really important, for them to have morals. Like some of the challenges that they face is moral dysfunctional. That dysfunctional mindset, among professing Christians, more than the secular, right, society. Obi wɔ hɔnom a, some people, they're not Christians, they don't believe in anything, and their principles are even greater and structure than someone who claims, or most people who claims to be Christians. I mean, I just feel like we have everybody have their reasons to go to church, but I believe in my prayers. I believe my own miracles. I believe my hard work will provide a lot of success, and I can achieve a lot of things. Like if I'm going through some challenges, my baby sister Crisscross, I talk to her and to get some insight. So for Samuel Koso, I talk to him and get some insight. Okay, it depends on where I need some type of like guidance, or like I need some other aspect of where my thinking process is. I call my mom for certain things, and my dad also can help me in certain areas, my younger brother, some of my cousins. So it's like it depends on my circumstances, my challenges. I have a lot of loved ones around me, and then having sisters, other sisters doing program on social media. Sister Yaha and I, we send each other like voice note. Doc Bakope, boss lady, Sister Aisha, Sister Sage, Stamrekua, Sister Awomrekua from lunchtime talk, and Doc, is the comfort Mreku, and Sama Manson's Sister Sophia. Like so many other people. I have Brother Ankra, I have Brother Nati Dazi, Rami, like we have like conversation behind, away from the camera. We talk, and I love to send like voice note, to some of my friends. I will send them a little voice note, and then Sister Amajo, like she and I are on a certain group, and we we communicate. So you have some people that, and Sister Ya, Watson Russell. So it's like, sometimes you kind of like connect with other people through other friends, and we share information, and it's good. It's good for us to learn from one another. When you don't have certain information, you need to be able to acquire knowledge. Don't just be ignorant, or like an idiot and just do what other people you think that is best. We have some people where their churches, it's a cult and it's a deadly devotion. They brainwash their church members. They tell them lies. They made them believe if they leave that community, the group, now they would die. Like, oh my gosh, play on their fear. It's like so crazy. It's some of them are serious. Our autobiographer said the hypocrisy is what is killing us. Empty, holy, without any substance. Sis, I tell you, it's like just crazy. All right. Examples, of this type of challenges of moral dysfunctionals include, substance abuse, domestic violence, greediness, sexual immorality, blackmailing, alcoholism, like molesters, pedophiles, those who steals from their own members, and it's just crazy. Some of this and more, many more, are commonly seen within the churches and with the population. There are some churches you have thousands and thousands of people. What are they gaining over there? What is coming out of that? I remember, like, some time ago, we have a certain so-called men of God who requested for females, female church members to bring their used underwear, and then they're going to make money. I'm like trying to get a like the update. Did all those church members who brought their used underwear became rich? Hey, you have worried under you. Aren't you using your brain? Who in their right mind will ask another human being whose mind is functional to bring a used underwear? So if that's how we get money now, then nobody will work. Eh? Hey, I say, mama, so many people have been rich. Hey, stomach pastors. Some issue that threaten unity in the church today. Some of the factors that I would like for us to focus on, that threaten unity in churches today, could be like disagreement over sharing church funds and misuses of funds, right? Is going to like divide people, whereas you have people that are going to be struggling for leadership or authority. So if I'm in this position, I'll be able to kind of give orders what can be done and what cannot be done, which money can be used for this, and so many things, how much money, how much percentage I should get from here. You have some of the church leaders prey on people's fear, insecurity, desperation. You have some church so-called men of God, nyame nipa etimi ekodware obi yiri wɔ nsuo mu, anaasɛ obi yiri ekɔ ne hɔnom. Doc na efrɛ no. Doc, I'm not sis. Mema wakɔ aba.
Yeah, but you so yeah, my money aduma.
Me da say, thanks for calling. Tino,
Mm.
I know say bibi na maka na say what a wet tino unsu di bi ba be ka ho. Enti brana unsu
Matie bibia, mete hapa, matie bibia.
me da say. Enti
Oh,
dia na pese o de be ka
why
ho. Me da say, nyame hira.
Aye, not it just what's the saying? What's the saying?
Me say, and then enkoma ye di no, the unpleasant activities in our churches and homes. Aha, na nneoma bi wo ho no ma te say asori ebi mo asori bi wo ho a wo kwa a emma ni bebre wo ho no mo atade a wo hye wo ntuma a wo fira na omo hwe na wo behu na obi akofa ni na atade a na ase ni ntuma bi a wefra won hye bi mu say nyame na aka na koma so mfa mro say bi a waware na wo nwo ya no was wodi waton akola baby atade abro mro kwa won kan jen say wonyem umedi hu nkomo nkyere ne say we have fertility problems but they say because they said themselves and they were enuanom ni adofo bi mu a wa mobra anase because of any brain tino otimi ekokum ono ani nua na busuani nadamfo bi obi timi de nadamfo kwaji sikaduro esan say ope easy living right on person obebre and wenya ebi mutimi ebo omo oyiwone ne nadamfo fa adwen a wonim se nipa na ekwa ha se okita sika se ekobo ne kro no ma am robbers ko robo no eku no se ne ebe ya wonu benya ne cat ewo obi hard working to say obi ajapade abusua japade nipa ba akutimi koyi abusua no edin free so no onu di ne din aye onu anya hwi wa mobra bia wa bobra na se ni brade no wa fafa and me talking so about yen sorry mu because some say awingafo molesters pedophiles any so many crazy people no baby a enkolata wono to say school moves the educational system churches religion because awufu bebre do mo manke to akwa sorry your bible study your group your youth group enum ne ho nkro ne ba wo behu na papa panyimu bi maame panyimu bi o finger nkwala edine na ade no ehihye enkwala na se enom ne ade nti no eno ne nsem a meka ho asa obi wo ho no mo ye ensa chese obi wo ho no mo wia asori sika ana so obi wo ho no mesa asa asori sika na eba na ni brinti no na we say person ono so be ye church leader we person oyi we free ho na entronom ne entwato so many things nti no all around I'm going everywhere.
Yo, sis, mo money aduma.
Me that's it.
Yetia etiefo ni ahwefo. Eni obi a wo choro.
Etiefo ni ahwefo bi achi, obi aje wo so.
Na sis, young fan free asori dem. Na asori dem me di be free ho a. Me di be free ho say why ena edi asori nanim. That leadership skills ben ena owo.
Yeah.
Na dwene mu nso so no etesesen. Ne background dien.
Chai.
Enti no memfa me ensen ya pe ne bia etefa so a edikakra beka ho.
No problem.
Se ye ka se leader hwan ni leader. Leader ye obi a ompe ne ho asem. No owo hwe so papa. Na wowo ahofama. Owo ahonim. No what in can on your pesami kuminya.
Correct.
Your leader or no leader. And to say any pay our that's a free no. You took a lesson ya. No way you need a free muino. A son near my boss you will be ana. Ye chat was crying ya misru.
Oh.
Na and they no. Nyamesum na kwa say any pen sro nyami biem.
No correct stomach business.
Yes, say me de misika eto ho eto bible so a mekwa ba na ho ba se me di ko nyan bom amekọ ba na da ho etwen me
no correct
because obi afọ se me kwaji friti gare ho nti so di agura ti gare di on fa ne bọ ne nche no eni pesro du ya bosne nyam empire
no correct
na enti no saadie ni nti no ama se obi eye mfumso obi a onhwe
no correct
enti no kunso betimi afri ba bia keke a onni saa niema ye keka fa leader hwin no aba be ye leader
that's right
na ye to correction a ne wa fa bi opuse oba bi owo why depressed anaso so oba bi a nani je wo fom anaso wadwene mo haw kakra na nyi wo ne fie anaso bi aya bi su no na opo bi etie na se mama no
Jesus
na ofo se sofo eno betimi aka kire no no is se nipa ni leadership skill no na oni ahonnim na oni ahofama na onsuro nyame nti no o ka kire no na o ka kire ne se oh sofo mesi mani nyi o me kunu se ne kwati ewu mani nyi afe wu behu ano oti asem ni nyina awi a no aba be ka kire ne se maami wonim bibi nyame aka kire me se mentwa konche ma na konche ne mu no brabeda sorry dem ha ne se 19 na fada ho itu oda ha no behu se podia bi ne nam ne to
no correct
no watri ano na watri ano wedi no obi yire no wedi no eno no betwa mako wedi na wie wa mfa honim bia nto ho
no correct
we ni feelings wa twene kwa free of charge when triare
no correct
because wa force maame no na maame na nkasa ede ma no because maame ni obi o kasa kire no enti wa fa krono na ode adufo de pe sesa ne ma no wa kusa maame no so ka asset na obetimi asesa ne ho bi enti wa fa maame no so adufo de aka ho maame ni nyima no wasansan ensuro nyame o se yensan koyi
no correct
on the watiti boni kwan mu no enu ane so wo ko
papa ha
ye background a ebinum ye said ye tete ye ma ebinum tete yo mo manyo obi a na ye ne saade
no correct
e wo mu sankrofobia fa hardship but enyo obi a ye so akwala nan ni ya wusu ni ti wo fom a ni ya papa na ni so akwa ni dompe mama yes anything oye bema yes oye bema ade ye na yes bema nsu no aka na ni mabopo not ho onsu na wahu obi a onsu a obehu nipa mobopen
dabi
enti no onhu mobo na odini nam ni namusa wo mantem beburu nkwala yi eno didi mu no onyenye mai wa ibi no anu mapetesin ye bia wa bokro no ye bia obi create mi ko jail ba ni oba na fe de ohwe na system no emfa ohwe na society nyena osinyame afre me masesa mabrabo enti sese no de me yesofo asomasi ba se obroni ewo abrochire no se u abiusu akwala anase udi akwala nsemone a edru se wo kwakopa adwuma na kwakopa adwuma wo baabi a enipa bi a yefre wo mo vulnerable anase enipa wo ntimi nkasa mo ho anase omo ye mobrofo no wo kwakoye adwuma wo ho ye bisa wo se police ya kire wo daana wo kasi hani ani ya bisa so wo kire wo no edi mfomso na wo ye na ye kire wutumu anase ye ma wo ne keke ama se adwuma na ye de wo kwakohye mu no esese ye hu ba bi ko a ye de wo bese ye mfa nkoto ba bi ya keke osofo asori ameko u pesa wo kire ade o Sunday school a wo ye DBS your friend says kindly say a criminal record bureau no say DBS no ukwa kira dey was Sunday school no ubeye DBS but yenye saade ni bi wo ye ho enti kwaku bensa benam pom ho anya mo mai wensie yi ama wo mo edidi mpanifo atemakeka na adwen aye de opebia atoto ayampe asen ne bo anambro no so but edru say ne ho akire na opeska toduane edi a no wate yesi asore dem so ye sofo awo me kan na kam ye kromfo eni se de nyame de ne nsa aka me nyame de ne nsa I'm telling you. So I say, what would the American free bano? Yes, the first say or see what your chrome for and your maiden in Sakano doesn't mean say no, when Jai so control be brought here, but when Yas a correction and sort of so when Yas will be a sabi one or so DB.
No crap.
And Yamia Freme, as I said there, or the Kwame Cross, as I said, the Joseph, Nabra to the Hoodie, no Bokra cat and tente. Missy Minim Brebi Pa ye pomo. In those days, oh, my make I say, or do Babruchra, ye time me to early 2000, the 1990 years here, the year Babruchre, and Tianco Senior Tribo. Baby, I'm a cosine tribo. Bread be what Mr. Brand for my woe in the
oh,
Mama now for me, been was me a before.
I know the son, ya label.
Or send me a before. Let me be send me many assay. Or be a baby many a bria. Yes, me boss me and put a contribute a paper essay. My me to steal for a minute more. Me fun or reason my always saying in every including or my back abortion through abortion or so for by Okuno.
Oh wow! I have a friend.
Oh yes. Yeah, the fire abortion in the bar, you know. I don't know what went wrong.
Well, my sister, yeah, what master Abrabo.
Oh, sister, yeah.
I mean, Brother Jean, so say, was it our leaders? Was it our leaders and MPs should swear by Diabo they will never chop our money again? I agree with him. And sister, I asked for that to our author said the principles in the Bible are not applied. We pay more attention to culture values, church more than the word of God. Bum.
Yeah. True. True. So
yeah.
Ain't he also for back? Also for penny power, also for kakakapa, way chrome when a baby or the back row. Gan no kwai say ne buy no osro ni mama ne papa ntino o go through pain no one she bled to death.
Jesus Christ.
O na moje tu na kunu keke obi baba yi wo wu keke enna say the brass nyame afre no enna onam nyame afre no na o shira ware so wo bompaye wo yese man krofo atese na ni ji age ne ho so yesofo no shira ware so o wu de onye ne ho. So what I say? Ain't you know a binom no baby or move free bano massacre my say no omu didi ni penya na a bin so agrimu yari entino they feel
mental illness. Yeah,
yes,
a bit more how we had the omo out to say adrenaline toye and koye kra but G can earlier say obi or one ma or bompire man the church leaders I know piano if you nipa ne nkwa. Na Miss one time me who will be at say yakunya nyina ye di buni pakro no. Hey.
Oh, na meme. Also my time me no watch me just a messy peg me na ba kusi enim. Na ba kusi echire. Me say me maintain reda. No wa tu ni quote no say in the name of Jesus pie na me say why na pie. O say no me say kata we ni. Chese me nim de ekoso. Why na pie? Obefa de na aba. Because I'm confused. Now, sir, I dream we are here. Your friend Bakubi schizoaffective personality disorder.
That's right.
Means I repeated the be person ready about it. Schizoaffective personality disorder. Obi a was arguing we are here we be no full say oh to me to the extent say. Obi kude wu obetimi enya ne no
eno ne ehu bia yes akwa so first I said then sorry
so ahu enti nipa ne fu se owo tumi ese odibe ebenya ne awufuo enti no bi wo ho no ma se betafrache bibi nti wantimi anwie na de sua ebema na kwakoye adwuma bi a ebema ebi asika kakra ba ne nsem enti na ho kyerɛ ne mane ade nyinaa no ofu se sofu aka kyerɛ ne se otumi e de bompa ye de a eni esesa ade eni aka mi 50 ma me mfa nkoma sofu eni ye so de ne sa to so a ebe 100 and if se sa eno ma yare wo madwen akeka mana to ya dwen mu se kwabra na hwɛ se Nyankopɔn o mi mfensere ma wa mfensere na da he that supermarket bi ni omo fune or say every little helps enti ye pay the crowd to konkomu no save wo so se me mra na yemi enfense ma me ni obroni na wo save no wan ebenya sika kan enti yakeka sansem ni nyina bi e di a kire yen enti no ama yenim se de ye sika sie yenim se de ye boye sika ho ena yenim said yeah eniema bebre when it comes to finances asika samni ni bibia eye yenyina
no correct
yenyina
yeah
because but ye wo assembi da yenim say menwe ni ochina ubedi no ochina nankasa bedwendwen no
yeah
oh nyame ntimi ye nsira minim say we ye nsira but ye di nsira to wa cheji wele to so enti no ensem ni bi na yakeka ato ye ho edi se ye ho nkuran eye pa but saying na ye di to anamo enti se obi kopie wo sa asole fi ho na se onu a wo wadwen mu yare ye 2 oni leadership skill bia na se 3 finances ehun nimdia so abono a okwatena asole dem ho afo se de no be obe wiye sika se di meye di nkwala aka ho no aba besen ko inti ye beku na chire no no watwi feelings a feeling in pocket na for the eja ho no yemra nia obi nso timi ekofa obi hu ade na ode akwakoye bibi no se eya na ebibifo minim nia debia me kase minim do discover Africa ba se nka bi hu se nipa na ka ma chen so nkwadia ntu yen kopi obi ya hwe ba bi e be kwa kopi free aba
because back was say owu na okoba na se ni ma be wo no wo ni wo ga no be twa ni so trust o ma ni koba
and you only be here pe bi dia le say o ti say you ho chim na be ba pa enu anu no waka ye funu ni mo ma nemo ti push relax. I will tell you when to push again. Let us who saw baby papa or America and I say or United Kingdom and I say brutal baby. It's your fair and no better no boy say about. And you cousin, I don't blame say all cancer.
Because and we have the psychopath, right?
Narcissist because ma bebre narcissist. A member be brave, a narcissist, nim.
No correct.
Say, abrochre, yanam tell you so abrochre. Say, who say, obi a narcissist, and quada a one under the care, and also say nippon no mudiasi mono, your momu yina support.
No correct, no correct.
Because a nippano and so just support a hailing home. Inti no mu amaka na mudidi ni nase no so no munsu mu benya bi se de be ya mu betimi ade mo ho because no psychologically e go a long way e bekita wache na wure feeder and de bia me de sade way example say teacher ni obi ani ho betimi aka che me say ni teacher wo born ma pa ni wure fi no you wo teacher bi wo school bi mu a on the ose media me bo ma pa obi ani wani wure fi set teacher ni da identity because of pain now or day mountain ure infinida inti se ye kofa sa ekwan no so a na ya say oh media ma bono obitimi ka share media wonni me o se me si ya bono ebeje wonsam na wakeka sa dia ama ne ho ni nyina ye narcissist ni bia but yenim na yen stop sa dia no na yen directing to the right direction into no Obia fo se eye ni eden enti koso enti sa kwala bi ne ye ne sa nyame amoa na onyi ofo se ya de papa no ye de aye no enti ono so onsesa no so apeki the same habit adentira Bible se kira kwala kwan ya wonfa so na onyi ya onfi ho enti kwan ya ye kira ne se ye papa nipa so ye nya Karen
no correct.
Enti se mesomao na se wanti a ese se mitimi gina o kacho se fa ankwasi asem free mani so ko. Excuse my French.
That's right.
Oh, ma me mpacho asem na aka me kasa na nsuo gina manum. Wa boda mo ana. Excuse my French, eti for mo fantom. I'm being realistic here.
Yes.
Na yakeka ne sa adi a kire nipa eno nko akura na eka nipa ne se.
Oh, yes.
Wanti asama meka ekwaku me say to banku 2 cedis na gi nkuruma 1 cedi afede wati ase sebe ya wu ko ure mfinti kwaku banku 2 cedis nkuruma 1 cedi fato nyom kosisa wo bekwa koduru fefefe enti akwala no so onyi na ono so kira ne bade a the same strategy no de betre na aka chensa me kasa ne nso ni gina manum obi nso kota de ne ba ma me mpa acho me fancy fa besi mitiri so.
But Doc, you say nipa bi wo ho no mo say o ye shuffle ebi mutimi use black magic e wo ma so dem.
Yeah, Juma pa. Juma. Juma kopem say ye wo sadie no psychologically no it wa kra obetumi aye. To say be a BBC utimi bi gidie bitimi be hye mu ema utimi ka bibi mane bam enu nkyere se wo hia se wo be odifo ansa na wa ye saade no
yeah
nemo masofo ne o me wotumi bi no fo se o betimi ayusu eno no amenu mo ma kyere se o mo supernatural powers and I say o me extraordinary but oba brochira ye was a group of people a be Halloween no omo boabo agrofo bi ano se wo ha ye wo bi mu a ye omo yusu sa dompe sign no bi mu de asomade bi etese ayifo no walafo no omo de hoop no ewura asonam ni mu omo anso ye society bi no omo de asomade aso omo huni mu tise boo no
yeah
esuno no ordinary nose piercing but we do omo de aso omo huni mu tise boo no ena omo se necklace a choking no black one a choking no na bi oma die omo trimi ye wo so many group of people omo with different spirit omo frɛ ebinom ekosiesia wo castle ho omai bi ati se bi a castle princess castle ni ade wo no mo no ubewu se omakwa kosia wo ho ebinom emwa raven ene sa amoa ne sa de omo chante Oko forest chantia okasa and the thing comes to reality. And it's a krom ha abrochire e wo baabia so wunya dagidi o machia or omo ha omo practices sa spirit no eno na Africa kakra bi bebo fire ho ane say ye okoto no e ha ye won abrochire won ahoro bebre inti se obi timi ko gigi sa tumi ni bi no de betina asore dem a eno so kwa de ode na no ka kire wa untie no obulo sa de no so pa be fa
no correct
na dodo na so no de a me huni so mo ta yusu sa powder you credit say me kai ni di a metro omo de fra aduane anase ensa e de maw udi a wo beda pa and then wo de via and one obefa why you then want it.
I say no like no very pool like sexually assault you if you all best sorry for nim say nipa na violate because I know your full say will fall yes obi okro realizes who are falling asleep for that long.
Yeah. So for be a maybe no this answer nhunu ni bi no no de owi ana or the handkerchief no wa pepa wase. Inti ekita na opepa na fotron ane wachima gutuam na fe wakata so asi ho and people were believing say oh yes ade na wuntime ngo enti na ma na enwu ni nyina no wokwa na yeso wa manisika no wabie wo dia no kakra obi ano kaka no knowing say the all ye say oba obi wo hono ma no oni ni kunu omonye compatible enti sexually ne kwampo so ne makra entimi enkeka nsi so ma wom no mo manyem no enti oye pause yo okọ sọfọ asomasi asọrọ no o de sa method ye bi okugu nani no anyem no okugu nani no anyem no sọfọ da omuso ni mu de handcuff gu ni nsa no anyem ma 31
what
and yes odi se sa efri yakura anase no ena odi ne ho be se soja mu e wa akra ena no so soja mu no so ojiji nkrofo sika se memi afa soja adwuma mu e hodi obi anya ni mu so yuguso a obosa abrande ko so says there ye can say ye can ya se mu nyina etenten ne say we wu jaye
Madam Emmanuel say Jesus pa kwasi powder yeah
so ahuno eno no sa powder no so no says eno enya no kwan na nam say odi hu agu so keke o onu ankasa de ne nsabo ne sremu asa de ne kwat be ye tenten kese no
what
oh yes enyi
holy cow
yes enyi pa wo bo ne sremu ana bia ba beto aso
oh my Lord Jesus Christ
oh yes that's how evil enema bitimi happen enti apart from adwene mu yare ene de keka ho enema nso wo ho ankofo eye pa enti de ode na tade kokomo bi se na ho nso me ba ho kakra
omo dross omo ashe
yes yeah how
you're crazy
because a connection no even though there is no scientific proof beyond be a yefi no ye to me wo ho
nyampa
and it ma happen because as somebody Christo sumbe breye no na bibi wo ho ansa na ye beto ye enti no saa de na wo ye no wa krampo no se wo se pieto na utimi se wo ho asisi wo ho so kire se bibi aba be wura mu ma wadi mu enti wo saa de de akwakomo obi ni sai na wo fele
na say ebi mutimi yi ebi mu draw so ma si di asen abonten ediko ye omonuoma bebre wonam hono mo sa na nuoma bi asisi wo tuntun na like that's an easy way for someone to get to you easily because who swagumu
yeah obi ebi ono di oye no afi dia onipa no timidi ya no say osia beme ubesia beme bi na bema na ni je wo a na wadane wani mum bema
what
eno die oh yeah akonfu ewo area ho no mu ni nyina eko hu meeting say omo be ye hu bibia ma sister no eventually no say na ode osade no ode ye no e the mask e be sister nanim inti hu ni say oya Adwoa.
What? That is crazy. Yeah. I mean, to say, omo, yeah, bold enough for casa men no me no. And yenya me to me no the edge, ma.
No.
Because you will be asked to me. Unless it's say, or yet be any pass away. Now, one man work as a woman, no meme.
Yeah, baby, any juma. Because only to me be or then a water so. No, but the casa at them nature. Only so can happen, intimidation.
Yeah.
Into a dream we are here, who are being intimidated. Thinking so we best no will give it up.
Yeah.
But then you be
they prey on people's fear.
Yeah, and panic.
Yeah.
And to time my GP bar say, yeah, said you see, yeah, me
Missy, but peace of mind. No prayer, prophecy. Abba, Debia Obibu. Me feel say obi obe prophesy. Say ni pass mercy. We ni pass mercy. When him hubi because obi won hono ma or pe views. Obi won hono ma or pe dom. And you know per se bem. Into no abetimi afa echire akodi obi babone.
Oh, your baby come.
Now, see, dog, brother G can something earlier or say serious mental disorder. Some think they are mini gods that they can convince you to dash them all your money. You will go home and chop Gary, while Osofo will chop jollof with his wife with big cars or houses and planes. It's crazy. Like,
Maybe where there, Minka as the Sam Kakrana, yes, Shano, na ye nana ye, to tell her by my communist animal in every way you feel, Christo dear Nusun in every way you feel. Into Ushana, na so mo personal fat sa training him, and Mausu near Unia. As a Unina Yamasomana Pana Wafa, a common also now Pana Wafa.
Oh Lord.
Na candle back and share batter so.
Yeah.
Na ye peja dolly ni besi wa. Na fe ye de you know yatiti nkunu afane ni ase. Na fe ya kaprona tuma so candle no.
Wow.
You know, beba dem hono ma ni ye dum candle no. Ye dum na se hu se bosom no. Eni ase ti batter bia wo ho. Yes. Inti unya bedru pa na uka wa asem no na osi o de se me baba ya de bi se busum ni su a na chesa de kode no ebeye unti ju di sikaba afre de me ka epuni ebo mu bi na afre heat no eso kande na afre heat no ba dem unti ehwe busum na ni ase na se bata no na 90 na drop to say de busum ni so no.
What?
Yes. Inti ma mini is cano de babe mameno. Mini any free heel so free heel no baby upon a to one and from my boy. And you know, can't do need do me and kuni die. Said your ma mini sick buro menawaho. Miss Ada.
I asked some and a bimusu or one ma. You bosom and answer cult a black magic no near you use you know. Omuma will fall asleep sadden and no better.
Better, yeah.
Ain't you know we inside and all your bar a dear be or dear woo yamuno. A bit to me I say wow just say there's so many things and man so soon almost foul.
Yeah, I say a man 10 piano me kai said those days na my sister Bako so peba. No be catching so quiet be yes, him for mo. Obi a wa ye nyina say baby yes, him for there. Aya na honyo sa. Wo ye baby a kwachiri panten say wo de hodi ago. Na nipa ne catching so on cut na ho 3 days. Na so to meet na ho 3 days or ba obewo. Mrs. Tanekoye kodi 2 days. That's how brave am I. Say desperate see you pay baby.
When they are desperate.
Yes. Ain't you know obi os a confoni bi di niama bebre be form kwate ho se be yakote no kra be kase.
No correct.
No wet media find sa niama ni nyina no. E na watena ho nso a ne nsafi. Ubetina ase apenu watena so no de afun.
That's nasty and disgusting. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. Obi antuma gubi o se kawo bari bi e se wo bi wa twe de atru ase ama ho ayira. Enti se ye de ye mayen sa nioma se o ye the way se way ye say ebeye say ya me sre se de ade aten.
Shine your eyes.
Ye nyai because enye obi obeye wo sa na be ma wawo.
No correct.
Na ye in society no society wo kan any say obi wo ho ana no so akopeja tade so e kan makoma say menton fa mecho
why bibi wo kwasha wo be hu na afi de wo kun krampo empe wo bim wo watade a wahye no ana say wo na ma be hu na wo ne wo ho Ugu animase. We are bra in chada. Wickedness. Now I thought I said there when they bread church member saying. Why do you hear Juma?
Ebinomuno. Na last time na meninkrofobia Bible studies na wonwa dia wonsua ne ye Yakobo eti enum entichemu ensia edeko eye James chapter 5 verse 6 going no na ose se munya japade na se mu wa agudie ne japade na se mo manere eri nareche na se ma fa bia nche obi a se dache no ye mu bekwa akobu akonta saa niema na ari nareche no so ne ebegyina bu ma akonta se ma fa bia anya adoye enti ne ebinom wo ho a genuinely no ebi opese oya adoye bi a watogu wa onyusu ananso se watogu wa chane ba akope no fu so di mo bi anipa ne betimi yusu ananso fu betimi abale kwaso enti ne bi a ode masa nipa but ye wo binom wo ho so di omo agenda eno na jana one for no omo agenda enti wode ba no ba besesa bi obeso
like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Obey swap. Ain't it? Minim. So what to say? And maybe a client, you know, who's on container, and no DVD and answer my bathroom.
Annie.
So container, nobody just come say, do I paint back at me? Maybe your money be dear to my answer my bathroom. Thinking, say, obi him or musicano. Yes, enti se enkrofo didididi niema enti binom so kwa kwadi bia na omo so kwaje niema na omo so dia ba bebo musika ho bai but sa niema ni nyina no eni niema a wasa wode kwa komo bi ni de woye nyina adwi poeta etire na ni sesen eni sesen dia na wo pe.
Oh Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Yeah. Obi eyebi na osi ono de ope nipa ne star because ohu se nipa na anybody waware mu ohu se ni kunu beto ka ama ntense se ni nua neje nti ono no beji afa
lack of knowledge my people perish indeed.
Yeah, ni nua pani ni momu kwaje sa de.
Wow.
Nti eni je na ni nua ketwa ne kwa eba ne ho aba beji bibia se de obejojo na ye na ni wura fimpo se ono na ma no sa favor na ode ma no. Nti greed ni niemanti ama sese krompo ni se genuine people be kra kwa koye bibia e ma ye hu na so so ene topics a wo dia baya me yesua de se you know dysfunction na wa kan obrofo adoso
too much
adoso na yenim me tana me hwefri because obi ani hono ma onim bibia e ya no taye se wunimu a wo ye ne ma bepre ba yesua de na mo kyerɛkyerɛ yen yenyina yensua da bia ye hu aduro ade bi ho awo kan wunim de eboa no ye duro papa ye obi hu aduro enti se yetimi yes ade no na yesua se yenim se enye easy se obi beka se obegya me family bi aka ade enko ba bia but yentumi try ye ma yanimra ye ho so se enyo case ye be sa de na awieye no eniema ya na de bae so no edoso obi ni emu a egu motre add that sa epetumi enti se onsuro ni pa bia
omo kwaji efun hu nsuo e de ye ni omo de ye omo nuanom pictures omo wa abroad e ko omo sofu bi ho no kanche. I mean, is this Christosome where ye Christosome
there be na ayana me di blame ni bibe ma sofo no osofo adi ye say ubenya mesumu a ensese hia di ade na ade me correction di akwakoto shu ababe se na me so me pese me ye
now would you me use underwear?
That's right.
Why
senye dia na ofo so ba yesu mu na yesu esira dia fanyami nsira no koto wa che na je na mtoto se ebe ma wa enti asasa ade a chense ye be jai say ye believe sa ense nhunu no
foolishness.
Yes, SSE jai na yenim enti ebinum adi atamagu yenim ase ya kere sese di ade atin ye hunu abusua ye nyina yesua de obi nka nkyere obi na obi nsuso nka nkyere obi na ne wofa ase ne nase ne nanti etiko ene na nase yakonta wofa ase no ye nyina antretire mu na enko na obi ye nsua de mfiri mu na adesua ne ya na nye ni nyina na ye enwoma uti ekire no wa graduate na wo ye we
informal education so aboa
and sieni bi eniema say ukọ baby mikọ baby eko senior ma mi hwese sister bi eraba kama pa o
sa
obi arebese ena watin tesuo ne bese ni nyina gu sister ne nsem no sister ne beta frɛ
that's nasty. Obisia procra no the yard. Jesus Christ.
Wow, Egwin Nsem also thank you, Baba, or better friend. So, or what a same infection, so or what gum problem, set to say. And one is what Egwin Nsem say, bam, sister better friend. I said the open.
You see, your friend and you, your friend and baby, your boy, and nyame some your friend and you're to me, and all day, ya Ginny to me every name some.
Yeah, and why any says Zoom be no bonny, mamma,
no correct.
In tears, being country be no be some country be. Being in a scandal free.
Papa.
I don't see a das, said there be as so jibre. Now, better, your money at Juma. It's our na obi nso ababe can be.
Dog, that's a panya me shroud. Anyone so mra, I say, what be shaky trees in the bray. We need dear Kitao. Your friend is saying, fear dear, any book dear. Wisdom, Nina, bum, efra.
Mitia kakaka.
Sana say because it is yes yandi free what I say be ye because me no I don't know everything it is obi be can minim no me so me fa bi de to me trim say me so me de be bomb me brain you say omo ye omu na sometimes no omo di omo nkoto asem or they find themselves in a certain situation kwan bi so afa omo se omo enana ebeyi omu fie beyi wow wunim dia wuni wunsia anoma bi you know that's a pan I mean sure says amen and amen. Yawa de bia, but it's a boss lady, or your program or Fire Life Radio, almost oja them, na your dog back on Sudia or Diamano, no pa, or say hashtag that the Bob Rasta one. There's a no size, or Fire Drive Time, weekdays, Monday through Friday. Just a topics hour de bano and yet no be small thing. Fridays a dear once to be a one no be a jamaiba. Sada no be a jamaiba and your wow experience. Oh, but now be told on man, not just a but yawada. And one of the most important doctor back Obapa mreku comfort mreku enim oba beye mental health teaching say to say mema yare prostate waka ho asem ye mema ye omumpe hospitals koi obi ohonoma from 45 and up no say wutimi ko hu doctor o GP anasa wo physician na you hwe omko miemiem no mu hu se nyoma ewo mu na ye se no ana ewo na sa wote wonom na wo hwe beba ba ye kakraka ewo nantem no enkoye wuntimi emu wato papa bi but they say good health be ema ye pa man so no te say breast cancer bosumi bia say wutimi da honom na wumiemia wo nofo to make sure say won feel any bia te say sister can say any ababia enti no se wo de won sa kosi bibi den so a na se wo ko hu ayi emma bebre ko hu omo ayi gynecologist to say ayi pep test to say ayi tongue inside a test no ne ade nyina you don't get it and afin so no depression, bipolar, anxiety disorder, so many other mental illness, you know, say with the right treatment obi wo ho no ma or go through depression near the na kona sorry fee near the na boduam anasi atuni pum na or just say lack of knowledge, my people do perish indeed. Obi wo ho no ma wo hia medical help seriously. Not a stomach pasta be they no onu no afa ne so a wodi e squeeze ebusua bi a omu ni bigi se ne ye nua be ma brother G kan ye no wonu sika a wunya ni nyina wodi koma saa asofo no sofo bie ni honom a ni maame anase na busuani bi ye beifo anase na busuani bi ye yare ni na busuani bi ye de ben it's always the church members busuafo sofo bie ni honom o bone maame bayi wodi ne church members sika na hwe ne maame hwe ne yire ene ne ma they living good now wo de ukofie no akodi gare soakings with no milk. I mean, it's such a shame. You see a timmy use yadrin. I mean, to say wadrin, yamia my sa to me no. Say I dream that trim no fire juma. Now what dear was won't me fine ye juma dear will be back canna de be juma say yo pa disienti now so open as ha yan fan titi wuntino. Ubedi Jimmy Fuetia. And ye na ye wasema because obi wo honom a wode nafu ene kasa wode kom ene kasa obi nso wo honom a wo ye cult mu enuoma odi ebie asori no wo kire se wo ba na wunya awura asori dem honom a me kwaga na me nko obi asori because enye ho na mete maka se me kosra obi wo na asori ube invite me setting no thank you. Me fear me bomb empire to bless myself. So for be any who bet me about catch him say enemy who na go to a samaido and then you can stay there with me na because won't mean fama dream in near gross and you know yamma ye na ho send your dog o canon addition de so who ye open mind na me wunim ye adwuma na obi die nso onim eto asom wo de kan wo de ho a you multiply wusua de bebre ntino da bia no wani da ho rough obi eni ho betimi abu kwase a ntino you limit yourself to information and answer resources na eno na ma ebi mo use yan omo prey on some people's fear superstitions no just a who way be munti no use all that send ye be ya omo be limit obi wo ho abusua mu ompe wo nkoso obi wo ho a asori a wo mo ompe okoso na ni brewo send ye doc be kan ye no nkra ma nka ho ba doc me da ase obi wo ha atade o de brown Osinyame di asemato no mesi wa ukwapsha atade na efiri ho no mukun kure mpe wani mahwe wo pamu wani ya wo yiri mpe wani mahwe wo yiri mu wo fie na wo yiri di oba ma fofra besi ankwohye mu ayima ware mpem na wukun di oba fofra wuntimi nka hwe because you don't try to me no ni bie wa hojo. You see things happen, but you can't talk about it.
No. What grow?
Yeah. I say, one man who quite, sir, ain't you know, the so will be a tad, dear, and no atade I wash a panties I wash you shouldn't bring it to people because nipa bebre wa adwenbone obi wo ha osi asori dem 24/7 and so bonni a wodi wo society nim abusuam ene social media 419 lies, deception, all of above. Ne nyina na ekoso nti no yenhwe ya na mo mutumu ye, and people we trust, we need to be very mindful. Nti doc eda sepa nyame enhyira wo nti no asidanium yo edi nyame ka wo says eda sepa bye. Nti no say ma menye a promo kakra because adofo nom ne anuanom a tese omo nso eye program e was so social media ya YouTube ene your friend is saying Facebook omo nso no omo this anti boss lady ba kope that hashtag that about Rasta one in fire drive time, on weekdays, from 4 p.m. to UK time. Almost say uja de man kasenti no person will support to a fire life radio so I will be to me a support to omo send ye be adwumadi ni be koso na chese bibia kama se baby a wunya nimdie free no oboa eye ye nyina no ye benya bibi afri mu de aboye ho ban afen so a fire life radio ehwala biem Saturdays awia 3 p.m. UK time no ma metrebo ane akra in sankofa omusi yensua twi kasa no enti no omo nso omo be display for 2 hours and then yanya sister wonim de ka ho oba pa Sister Aisha Ankra for Juice Plus, natural supplement for healthy living, and then Avon products. Sanya medichire mono. I use lip gloss, to make my lips swatching, especially some person so do me when I say going out, I don't want my lips being too dry. Now I use different kinds. I love the caramel keys, and then I have sugar high, and then I have other flavors also. And to say, oh, you can Avon, no bet me out order for Juice Plus, no baby, I will be out bet me our then mommy and support to a Sister Aisha Ankra because she has the X factor. She supports so many of us in so many ways. Now you won't believe it. I think so. Yeah. Author ba kope with so much knowledge and inspiration, to say the first was 3 books so far. 4th one is we during the COVID crisis and pandemic, the first one Reflection of a Thirsty Soul. So you see, the cover is like so nice. I just love it. And the second one is The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. A book could be a second book. I find myself related to a lot of chapters she talks about, and from Sister Adwoa, no, I can't say from age 10 and up. And Mema Betmia reading, Mabebre will find themselves identifying with this book. And Reflection of a Thirsty Soul is an inspirational book. And then the third book is Refreshing for My Worry Soul. Which is a devotional book. And Oko Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and I said you can get it at Kindle and other places. I will put it up, and then Oko Antia Facebook or YouTube, Antia's book corner. Now you can get all the information that you need from her to be able to purchase the books. I mean, to say it's a really great reading, and there's a lot of insights in here. She even have questions and leave spaces, whereas if you have some questions, you can also write when she comes live. You should be able to basically ask her questions. Starting tomorrow by God's grace, it will be 12 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Sister Yahweh, 10 a.m. She's gonna do live program for over a month now. I am so super excited. Yeah, she's coming back tomorrow. Hey, I will set my alarm. I will be there to support, and she go hear me, like some of my contribution, make her laugh, and also educate us, share information, inspire us, motivate us, and bring something new. So I cannot wait tomorrow. Hey, chai, tomorrow. And then it says snow flakes. They didn't stick. But almost if you're there's going to be a snowstorm. So, if there's too much snow, I plan not to drive out. I have to go get my booster. So I'm going to have to either take the bus or walk. It's like maybe 12 or 15 blocks from my house, so I can walk in the snow, just put on my boots and dress warmly and walk. I will probably take the bus, because with the snow on the ground, my walk is going to take me longer than I would normally, the time I will use to get there. It's mommy and support sister, yeah. Auntie Ya's book corner tomorrow. She's live, yeah. Don't miss it, okay? So Staya, I cannot wait to see you tomorrow live. And then we have our beautiful sister Russell B. Our dear our beautiful sister Yabi Russell. Now she went back to Boating Russell, yes, with her 100% natural health and beauty advocate. DM her for information, please. Let's support each other. When you see your sister, being sisters and brothers and sisters, we don't necessarily have to come from the same mothers, when you have someone from your country, nation, society, community, you guys are, the same. So we need to support one another to build each other up. I think, yes, Sister Sage Williams. Sister Sage Williams, last time I did my hair net, to send me king to hair net. The inside there, no, I just love it to protect my hair, to say like you just put on. It's so easy, to put on, push your hair in, however, behind your ears or over your ears, whichever way you want to put it, that's great. And then t-shirt, nice t-shirt, really great. The neck does not extend. This is for my baby girl, Jazzy, mommy. She be rocking it today. When she went for her remote class, she wore the other one, the purple one, the other colors. And I heard her teachers and classmates saying, "Ooh, that's a beautiful shirt. Where did you get it?" And to say when you be and you come and see or what advertising, I'm saying, Charlie, this is nice. So, and then she has like creams, beads, also some authentic dresses, and jewelries, and so many other things. When you go to her website, which is sagesshare.com, you go there. The t-shirt, you may not see the color that you want. Please don't exit out. Order the t-shirt, the sizes that you need, the amount that you need, and then there's going to be a comment box that's where you're going to put the color of t-shirts that you would like to have. If you kind of like want other, extraordinary colors, because some of my colors I did not pick. Sister Sage Williams, picked them for me, and they are gorgeous. I look really great in them. I didn't realize that, wearing different type of colors, it will look so well on me. But, I discovered that now, because growing up, my favorite color was yellow. And then in my 20s, it became cream. And then in my 30s, it all went black. And then in my 40s, now I'm wearing any color, it don't matter, so you go through transition. That's my transition when it comes to material things, and I'm loving it. So let's support Sister Sage Williams. Her website again is sageshare.com. To support her. And then you have Sister Awumbre Kua, lunchtime talk on Fridays. This morning I missed it, but I was watching it and I didn't get to finish before I came live. So I'm going to definitely finish watching it to provide my contribution, because today I got caught up with work, so I wasn't able to kind of come in, mintimi ama mete ho no mo anye yi senya ya da bi wo ha metimi ye no because we hear juma sometimes meetings normally I didn't me. And then we have Pastor Esther Arthur or live program on Wednesdays around midday, right? Be on so other days, she comes other days, she comes and do Bible reading, prayers, and also talk about life issues. Sometimes she has some brothers and sisters come and they share some knowledge and share some insight on certain things in our life. Our sister Mamle, Obapa Mamle Yoko Godwins, in Upper Worldwide YouTube, she talks about parental alienation. So tune in, support her, please. We also have Stadachi Hima Fiasancho Filinash, which is my big sister / my boss with Juice Plus, and then this Civics with her boutique merchandises. So we have Sister Angelina Ba, our angel back up with the Juice Plus product also for healthy living. The more the merrier. On let me see who haven't I said anything. Do I have everything? If I forget to mention you, please forgive me. Okay, so our brother D Brian from Pond is doing launching his business or online business. You can work your own hours. Just send him a message. You can sign up. He's gonna walk you through what if you need to put in to start the business and everything. He's gonna walk you through. And then we have Pastor Samuel Koso with me at Adwoa on Saturdays at 3 p.m. US Eastern Time. We Pastor Koso comes and we come and talk about marriage lesson, but we don't talk only about marriage stuff, we talk about general stuff. Like we have some couples early this year, this month when we came, brought our issues and problems, and we discussed it. Like so far things are going great. The first couples, they were able to get counseling and they working out their marriage. They're working to build their trust back. And then the ATM marriage, they also, trying to figure things out. But, there's a lot of things that needs to be done. And I think the couples have to make their decision, based on the information that was shared that day, productive contribution, which is great. So we all learning. I want to really thank each and every one of you, those who shares my program, who invite friends, to tune in, who likes the program, love the program, and using other emojis, laughing because something was said. I truly want to thank each and every one of you, because I just enjoy, when I see all the productive contribution, to kind of also insert that in the conversation, because then it feels like we all talking, we having a dialogue, sharing information. So Dr. Baakope, Doc, Obapa, Sister Miracle, Comfort, Miracle, and thank you for coming through, to also share your views on some of the things, regarding unpleasant activities in churches and at home, because a lot of people, are being taken advantage of. And, some people are just, some of the threaten unity in churches today, also includes self-righteousness, pride and arrogance, which we know most of our people have lack of knowledge, lack of boundaries, lack of understanding, lack of accountability, dishonesty, deception, insecurity, fear, unwillingness to share responsibilities, and also negative ethnicity and tribalism, also management of some biblical interpretation. Some people, Sister Atobra mentioned something earlier, that people are not applying the word of God. They basically doing their own thing. So these are some of the things that a lot of us, don't think about. If you believe in something and you go to a certain church, and some of the things that they're doing, they verbally, emotionally, mentally, psychologically abusing you, you need to remove yourself, because that's a toxic environment, unhealthy environment. And you're not you don't have to be committed to anybody, and you don't need anybody's approval for you to be in places. People sharing their used clothes, or giving you certain things, or stepping out of the boundary. You need to use your words, and let people know to mind their business, because you're not there for them. You're not there for material things. You're there to worship your God. So, unity. We also have ways, that we can unite, and which will have a positive effect in churches. Unity grows, right, when we serve together in peace. We teach each other and encourages one another in specific way, right? Unity is as important outside the church as within, because don't just display that behavior, like limiting the boundary, limiting yourself. When you're in church, you display certain behavior, and then you come out and you are like worst of the worst. You are you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, right? We're not perfect, but when people do things to hurt other people intentionally, like when we are together, we are stronger than doing things individually. So we need to be able to support one another, encourage one another, because it's a great feelings. Kindness, everything that we do, we get reward, right? So you can either attract positive rewards or negative rewards. But negativity, we all know, in the long run, something is going to get right. You so very welcome, boss lady. Sister Sage Williams said it is sad. It is a sad state of affair. There are some women who naturally cannot have children due to the um, uh, arch, um, architecture of their perverts. Oh, yes, and other conditions. Sometimes they fall victims to those who promise them remedies, and sometimes those remedies can damage their inside, their intestine, some of their organs. I don't know, like, why are you drinking some remedies? You don't even know the ingredients people put in there. Sometimes people put poison, things that they're not supposed to put in there, and it's going to cause premature death. You're going to die foolishly, and then it's going to be blamed on a family member, and it's just horrible. It's really sad. So we just need to be mindful and stuff. So don't just display certain behavior within the church. Outside that, in the community, on social media, within your marital home, your family homes, because every unpleasantness that you adopt within churches, you bringing it into your home. All right, so we need to be very mindful of that. There should be more teachings to include people of other faith in our choices, in our circle of friendship, and not exclude them due to the differences of their belief or their the tribal that the tribe that they come from. It is not fair. Other ways to maintain and promote unity consist of be faithful with everything that you do, have faithful home, visiting teachers. Also, we have to see opportunities, that serve and include everyone without excluding someone because of their travel, where they're from, the color of their skin, their race, their age, their gender. We need to stop that, because that's not building. We have to build genuine friendship. We have to stop being hypocrite, and we have to not enable foolishness. That is not allowed. We always have to speak the truth, because the truth is only one. We have to avoid jokes or comments that may be offensive to other people, other tribes, other the color of other people's skin. We shouldn't be doing that. We need to be receptive and greet everyone, especially new or unfamiliar members, to take time to learn their names, and also something about them that is really important to them. We need to love unconditionally. We shouldn't be selective, and we also need to be able to manifest unity into places that we care for, in churches and in our home, within our family, among friends. There are some principles, upon which, follow people who believe Christians, and other religions based on their faith. We have people who are naturally good. They are kind, they have good heart, pure. They have pure heart. Good mind. They think well of other people. They don't think ill. They thought. Their thoughts of creativity, experiences are always positive. They don't make themselves victims. They learn from their mistakes, and they try to, learn from their mistakes. When you pray, prayer without unbreakable faith, belief, it's nothing. So when you pray, if you feel you're not feeling well, and you pray for yourself, and you believe that your maker will heal you, you have to believe in that. But there are some illness and sickness you need to go get medical help. Don't say because because there's a reason why we have doctors, nurses, certain professional counselors and stuff, because we can't do everything on our own. And when you pray with people or pray all together, you need to have some type of connection. God is good all the time. God is absolutely good, and everywhere his presence are there. So I always pray before I step outside my home. Before I move my car, I always pray for God to protect me, for me, because you have some crazy drivers there. Some people, they wake up from the wrong place. Some people wake up in rage. Some people, they having breakdowns, mental issues, and they may not think the same way that you think. So you don't want to end up in the wrong place at the wrong time, or being hit by a stray bullet. Going to take public transportation, you're trying to see if the train is coming, and someone push you off the train tracks. It's happening in New York, like a lot of that is happening. So if you take public transportation, you stop, get into the edge of the train track and sticking your neck out. Just stand by the wall, sit if there's a seat, wait till the train come all the way and pull to a stop, and then you get in it. Don't stand there, make yourself vulnerable or a victim where someone can easily shove you in front of a moving train and for you to lose your life foolishly. We have to protect ourselves. We have to educate our children. Places people cannot touch. So there is so much unpleasant activities, in our churches and homes, but I'm not going to be able to touch base in all areas. But I have some of my sisters on who also do program. If they find some areas that they also can share on their platform, that will be great. The more the merrier. We have to start speaking up. We have to start empowering each other, especially women, because everywhere you go, in religion, in everything that revolve around our choices, decision making. Most times, it's like most women, like make themselves so vulnerable because we have because of the thinking process. When you limit yourself with information resources and you do not acquire knowledge, you can easily be a victim of that. So we need to shine our eyes, and our senior citizens, mothers, fathers, uncles, aunties, family members who has retired. You going to churches, that ask for so much, they exploit financial means from you, money, like, and it's too much. Right, you got to speak up, and people just need to be mindful, because that could be the person's savings, and coming to church, and you have you people extorting money, embezzling money from someone who has retired is totally wrong. Deceiving some church members, because some people go to church not to worship God. They worshiping mere humans. So no church leader is God. They can never be God. It don't even matter if they're using black magic, they in a cult, whatever. No God is greater than the Almighty, the Creator. So I'm going to leave you guys here today. Tune in tomorrow at 3 p.m. UK Eastern Time with moi and Sopho Samuel Okoso. Sopho Samuel Okoso is so super excited, with tomorrow discussion. So I just cannot wait. So thank you to all those, who always, the regulars, you always tune in, you support me, don't matter how long I'm here. You hear you sharing, your productive, constructive contributions. So just share for some other people, friends, family members, to also get that. I send it to my mom because, like, some days she's busy because she have grandchildren, lots of them, and then helping us out. Like yesterday, she sent wachi, hey, and shito. The minute the food reached here, I ate the whole thing. Crisscross, came and dropped it off for me because she went to visit our parents, and then she needed to come by me. So I asked her to bring me some wachi too because she was eating some, and she brought us some. My mom, she always cook like she's cooking for an event, even though it's just her and our dad at home, but she cooked like you can never go to my mom's house and not have something to eat. You always get something to eat. Even if she doesn't have something that's enough, she can fix you something quick, and they always taste sweet. You are so very welcome, Sister Sage Williams of Apa. So I'm gonna leave you guys here. You all be safe. God bless. Take care of yourself. One love always. And I'll continue to do my walk because, hey, dear to my dear self, I want to lose weight working from home. I have put on a couple weight, so I'm going to do my best because you're going to start seeing the new Adwoa of the hey Charlie. So bye guys, take care. One love.